Well, hello everyone. It is time for another unit review. I'm almost through all of my 7 stars, which means that soon I'll actually be able to start trying more trial videos soon, and I'm very excited about finally getting to that. But first, let's talk about FFBE units. Now, we all love in this game when we see our favorite characters being added. I am particularly very happy lately because Rinoa has been added, and Rinoa is one of my favorite Final Fantasy VIII characters. There's so much I love about her. But you know what? The FFBE units, the original units for this game, are actually a lot of the times really cool themselves and fantastic units. The CG units have been amazing redefining each of their categories, except for Fire and Ice Laswell, but, you know, they can't all be winners. So anyway, with that being said, there was a time back when the Dark Aeon trial came out, or the Dark Summon trial, and I couldn't do it for the longest time. And then I got Marie, and Marie changed everything for me. Marie was a huge jump forward, and now here she is, and she's getting her 7-star. Well, let's talk a little bit about Marie, shall we? First of all, we all know Marie's Trust Mastery. Her Trust Mastery is still one of my favorite in the game, the Rainbow Coat. For one thing, 45 magic stat is incredible for so many different units. A 45 defense and a 45 spirit is huge. Let's not even forget for a second that she actually gets 30% to every element except darkness, where any unit gets this elemental resistance. This is great for tanks, this is great for any unit, and it's fantastic for mages. So for the longest time, it's been just incredible. Now let's talk about Marie and what I actually have her equipped with. Not the best equipment, but enough that it actually makes her fairly decently statted. And if I do believe so, she still has a fair amount of room for improvement. 150 MP. She can get another 100 MP. She's probably going to be very close to 1,000 by the time I'm done. So let's talk about her 7-star and what she actually gets. Well, for one thing, let's start with her limit burst, which, yeah. Basically, at its minimum form, it goes from an AoE 2-turn, reflect spell, just one spell, to an AoE 3-turn reflect one spell, and its cost goes from 16 to 12. Really not a huge improvement, and yeah, reflect isn't that good in this game, unfortunately. So Marie got some absolutely incredible enhancements. As a matter of fact, it wasn't until the enhancements that I noticed just how good she was. Lovely Guard going from a 3-turn AoE 100% all ailments up to as well giving AoE 40% to defense and spirit, whereas Love You All just basically was a AoE regen for multiple turns as well as a 50% element resist. Well, that's everything that she's had for a long time. So now we get into her 7-star. First of all, her trust ability. Now, these abilities are always great for a lot of different units, and for Marie, it is no different. It gives her an extra 40% to defense and spirit, which is awesome. That is incredible for so many different reasons, particularly being that it just makes her more survivable, but also it decreases her target chance by 100%, meaning that she should never be hit by anything except AoE. This is great for her. This is fantastic for her. You don't want her being targeted, but even so, with the stats that I have on her right now, she's pretty damn survivable. Like, 600 spirit is really, really good considering that I have not given her some of the best equipment I could. 668 MP is a huge MP pool to basically regen off forever, and she gets 5% per turn. meaning that she is regenerating so much MP per turn without even a bard. So that is just incredible. Well, let's talk about some of her other things. And if you remember from my last review, I talked about Ramza. Ramza has an AoE multi-give 2000 HP barrier to everyone for 3 turns. Well, Marie has something like that. She has a single target 3-turn 2000 HP barrier. But it also gives that target an extra 45 MP recovery. And since my Marie has just so much MP, she can actually fully regen that every turn. Basically, she turns into a single target MP battery. And that's really, really incredible and awesome. Now, her 54 MP ability, which I'm just going to make sure, double check really quickly. Let's actually put it on ability page. There we go. Her 54 MP ability is the final piece of the puzzle of what I think she's been missing for elemental resistance, which is an AoE 3-turn 70% light and dark resist in 1 turn. If an enemy is using both light and darkness, this is just really nice. Of course, she has never actually had just a single target or an AoE light and darkness. She has every element. She has Bar Firaga, Bar Blizzaga, Bar Thundaga, Bar Wataga, Bar Aeroga, and Bar Stonga, but she has never had barring light and darkness. Well, guess what? Now she does. It's a single ability, and it is an ability, which means that it cannot be double cast, but since you get both, that's okay. The others being 22 MP each means that this is a little more expensive, but since light and dark, oh, by the way, it's called monochrome shield, that's pretty good. It's still decent. Light and dark are valuable elements to be resistant to, so that's okay. Now, before we talk about one of my favorite abilities for her, which is her timer ability, let's talk about the other things she gets. At level 115, she gets 20% HP. More HP is always good to help a unit survive, so great. But she also has an ability at level 120 called Intensifier that gives an extra 20% MP and a 20% to all element resist. Now, that is awesome. That is awesome. That makes Marie very, very tanky versus all of the elements. As you can see right now, I have Siren equipped, so honestly that does drop certain elements, and darkness is a little bit lower just because of her coat does not cover darkness, but 80% to almost all of the elements, depending on which summon you have equipped, is awesome. It basically means that she is she has become an incredible tanky unit. But all of this is rather okay until we... I'm a little excited. Until we start talking about the ability I absolutely love, which is her 120 MP ability. Now, this is a 7-turn countdown, so it takes a long time to come back. But it is available on turn 1, meaning that you can basically choose when you want to use it. And Exedive Lover, or Exitive Lover, or whatever you want to call it, is 120 MP and an AoE 1 turn plus 100% to all element resist, and an AoE 1 turn plus 200% to defense and spirit, and an AoE 1 turn 50% damage mitigation. This is massive. For one thing, it is the huge boost to spirit and defense. It is a 50% all damage mitigation and 100% to all element resistance, which means that if the enemy has not debuffed you for a certain element, it's basically a free turn. It is more close to Invincible Moon than Renoa's Invincible Moon. So It has a huge cost to it and 7-turn countdown, meaning that it takes a while to use. But it is absolutely can make a huge. It can be the difference between winning and losing in a game. And it can be that thing that gives your team a turn to recover from a potential knockout. Not to mention the fact that 200% buff to defense and spirit, even if only for one turn, is a very rare boost, and could be used with some units that rely heavily on defense and spirit for their stats. Hint, hint, Lyra. So given this, if you were to actually use this in combination with some other units, it could, in theory, be fantastic. So, I haven't actually prepared it, but let's, for instance, excuse me, sorry, level indigestion. Big supper tonight. Let's take everyone's favorite unit, Lyra. Now, I don't have my Lyra equipped for anything right now, so we're really going to have to just makeshift her really quick for this demonstration. And I actually have to find, where is my amazing staff? There it is. Sorry, Bosch, going to take that off you for a bit. And we're actually going to try and build her the best we can, which basically means I just take everything off Bosch, or most of the things off Bosch. And we want something that gives a fairly nice spirit. Doesn't have to be overly insane for right now. We could just essentially do a moderate build. On the other hand, we could do an insane build. Who can I take it off of? Probably CG Fina. But I'm getting distracted here, and I really should just go, so we'll just equip something really quick with a nice amount of spirit to it. Give me your 603, just to demo it. Now, big thing is just because Lyra is so incredibly damaging when she comes to spirit that I have actually thought about using this. But when you want to do it, like, it could be absolutely incredible. So for now, we're going to put everyone into defense mode. So we'll actually start demoing a whole bunch of abilities. So first of all, her 45 MP shield. Let's give it to Renoa. Let's be nice to Renoa. I like Renoa. 2000 HP barrier and 45 MP is a really, really nice ability, and I accidentally hit refresh. Of course, her light and darkness, her buff is very, very nice. Gives everyone some elemental resistance to the two that she was really missing for giving 70% to. Unlike Ramza, they actually gave this unit what she needed in her kit. Most of her abilities, though, are just straight support abilities. So now let's actually do this. So take a look at Lyra stats, 637. Take a look at Marie's stats, 600 spirit. And now 937 for something that I really didn't build that properly. And considering that most Lyras are incredibly damage dealing at 1,000, this can be a massive boost to your Lyra while giving your entire team a free turn next turn. Honestly, there's really no reason that my team can't just take a massive turn off and just sit back, relax, let Lyra do all the hard work. Block, block, block. There we go. And of course, Lyra will just go in and do some damage just to show off. Unchained, for a chaining ability, 1,000,000 points of damage is really, really good. And it would be even better if I had actually geared my Lyra properly. But Marie is just an incredible unit. She is a fantastic unit. She is probably a much better support than Ramza right now, if only she had a way to boost people's attack and magic, since she can do so much with her Lovely Guard as well as her status ailment resisting. Can be very important for how you build a team. And at almost 9,000 HP without having been maxed in a lot of different stats, she is incredible. Now, unfortunately, the biggest thing is that 7-turn ability is only 1 turn, but it all depends on that 1 turn, how much you actually can do. If you're doing a ton of it, doesn't really matter. You've done what you needed to do. In general, I just want to close by saying that Marie was a fantastic unit before, and she's even better now. Unlike Ramza, the places where Alum has chosen to give her new abilities for her 7-star actually does improve the areas that she was weak in before, giving her one hell of an ability that actually helps survive your team, potentially survive some of the most devastating turns. So yeah, I absolutely, truly love Marie. I think that she had already a fantastic TMR, and she was great for so many different trials and just trials and challenges and bosses. She was already great, and now she's even better. So if you actually do get to 5 stars of her, for the love of God, awaken one of her, whichever one you like better, to her 7-star form. You will not be disappointed. She is a great unit to have. Anyway, that is everything for now. Next time, Lightning. First 6-star, I'm finally going to talk about her 7-star. When I finally get around to leveling her up, because she's only a level 110, and these things take a while. So yeah, till then folks, I hope this has been helpful, and I'll see you in the next video.